What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
안녕,
Keith.
I'm Curtis.
You know the vibes. Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all seen the picture. Y'all know why y'all here. ATEEZ, HALAZIA. I think that's HALAZIA, right?
Yeah, if not, they'll correct you.
Yeah, if not, correct me in the comments. HALAZIA. HALAZIA sound decent.
Sound like a place where you get good chicken over rice.
Okay, so this is your first time on the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and become a real redeemer today. Also, for content like this, make sure you guys jump on the Patreon. We're going to be doing a couple B-sides that you guys selected from ATEEZ. It's been a while since we've had them like on the regular channel and on the Patreon and stuff in general. Definitely a group that we show mad love to, but sometimes we go in spurts where we don't react to them, as weirdly as that sounds. But I feel like we've done like a lot. 40 or 50 ATEEZ videos low-key.
We've done a lot.
Especially with dance practices, live performances, a lot of solo stuff too. I wish we would have talked a little bit more about some of the stuff as far as comebacks. I think you mentioned it in our top 5 joint with Gorilla, you said, right?
I said Gorilla and Don't Stop. We're at least on the radar for me.
Yeah. But no, without that being said, I do want to jump into this. Like, this was heavily requested. They was on under everybody's video talking about this, so a lot of views too. Yeah, no long time. Let's jump into this. Can I holler? Cinematic goal. Shit.
They using that same beat again? Oh, okay.
Hip hop back. I feel sexy. HALAZIA.
Video's beautiful too.
Oh, I love the earrings.
I like that the beat extended itself too and didn't just jump right into it. So there's the deep voice bandit. Voice is incredible. This shit is infectious, little. That shit like. Nice.
Here we go. Let's go,
Ew, the room.
Oreo.
I like how EDM that shit good. No way, that's it.
Wow.
Damn.
That was dope.
Damn, son. Oh. End credit scene.
You banned them all. Nice.
We want more.
Buy the album.
Download it. HALAZIA. I like how I got into that. HALAZIA. Got into that. Now, production on here was crazy. Shout out to ATEEZ, man. They, if anything, they've been super consistent. Just with the vocals, with the rap line. I think in our top 5 when we got into like our MV discussion, this is kind of what I meant as far as like kind of being able to tell like a crazy story and like I definitely agree with your narrative perspective on MVs. This is that cool blend when like the narrative is there, but the choreography, the cinematography, special effects, everything. Like I bet certain green screen stuff here you can't even see is green screen, and ATEEZ always just does like a great job of like having god tier visuals. And this is all I have to say. This is that blend that I like for like MV purposes and stuff. The production on here, I gotta find out who the producer was. Like he really went crazy. He did this for them too.
Yeah, Eden, Allender, Maddox, and Hungjun and Mingi wrote.
Maddox was on here too.
Yeah.
He's god tier too.
Eden, Allender, and Maddox were the producers. Hungjun and Mingi were the writers.
Okay, I was about to say, did Ming write this? Cool. Nah, then that makes sense. I ain't gonna call them in-house producers and shit like that. But
I don't know where Lee's is because I think Lee, if I'm not mistaken, Lee's left. He's not producing for Dreamcatcher no more, and I guess I don't know if he's not producing for ATEEZ anymore. But Allender's still there, so it's pretty dope.
It makes sense because it's still that, you know how we always say ATEEZ has like that grand scale production. It always
Stadium
feels like
music.
yeah, or like, you know, when like movies where like the final fight scene is happening and shit. Like they always kind of have like that grand type music. So it makes sense with everyone that did the production on here. But they snapped. Even that HALAZIA, that shit is just gonna be stuck in my head. Yeah, this is a download, man. This is dope. This is dope. I feel, I'm trying to think what was the last joint outside of Gorilla that like we listened to and shit from them. Just because they always have shit that kind of knock us out. I think when we did like Hit It to the Beat and all them type joints, we didn't mention some of those as far as like our favorite reactions and stuff goes.
Take Me Home definitely was one of the better ones.
Promise was last year when we got into all that stuff, right?
No, beginning of this
It
year.
was beginning of this year, Precious and everything. Remember, that was another good moment
was a great
too.
night.
Remember
We
when we
said,
finally found the beat, or when we was searching for that beat and shit.
I think that was like towards the end of the year.
Yeah. My fault, y'all. If y'all don't know what we're talking about, go back. Y'all need to watch our top 5 video and you'll find out the context of what we're talking about.
Yeah, wrap up.
But yeah, this is just decent. I'm talking too much. Y'all can jump in.
No, you're good, bro. I thought this was dope, man. Definitely the energy I'm looking for from ATEEZ personally. I love the eerie kind of like dubstep drums with. I love the dubstep drums with the eerie kind of backdrop and melodies going on in the background. It's so kind of like, it feels urgent. I use that word commonly when it comes to K-pop. Like sometimes when a song feels so like urgent, it has a point, or you know, it has a purpose or something that it's trying to convey, and they go a little bit hard with the lyrics as well as the production. Chef's kiss. Excuse me, and that's what this was. I definitely, Sunghwa and Hungjun are my two biases for this, and they both handled it, especially Hungjun with his last rapping part, if I'm not mistaken. Really love this. This video is dope too. I'm trying to see what HALAZIA means. It's really nothing coming up on it. They're saying it's going to be revealed later on. We don't know how far later, but
I wonder, is it just a word like they made up? Like I remember I was messing with this Spanish girl. I was like, "What does taki taki mean?" She was like, "It's nothing. It's just some words." It's just weird.
Like jobbing.
Yeah, well, almost like when they tried to make that something. But yeah, which be crazy. You be Googling the shit out of something trying to find it, and it's really just some shit people made up.
Yeah.
It sound like a place, though. I don't know why that shit do sound like you like a heavenly place or something.
Chicken over rice, white sauce, extra spicy.
It's racist.
Ironically, I was thinking of Valhalla.
Yeah.
As far as this fake fictional kind of utopia almost.
Mm-hmm.
Well, heaven for
Yeah.
warriors.
Yeah, all like heaven places.
Yeah.
Well, not just heaven, but for warriors. You don't fight, you don't get in.
They let Jane Foster in
She was a fighter.
for half a movie.
Hey, she died in battle.
Good.
Kurt, y'all takes.
I like the song. This kind of reminds me of kind of how I felt when I heard Wonderland the first time. Dark vibe, but definitely high energy. That's something they do very, very well. I love the dystopian, almost apocalyptic feel of the video. You have the multiple smokestack hurricane tornadoes in the background. You have like the broken down, empty, abandoned mall that I guess the ball is. I don't know what the ball is. I guess that's part of the story that I don't know. Is rising out of the the icon or the I guess the deity that they're worshiping toward the beginning and set fire to toward the end. That whole thing and that glitch effect. I'm curious about that too. But there's a lot of elements that could build for a good storyline if that's what if this is like a conceptual, and they usually do concepts. They did Pirates for like 3 albums. So like there's a lot of things in here that kind of have my curiosity and want to see going forward as far as how they work those concepts out. I believe this one is like their future world or whatever, and they're like rebels in it. So I definitely like that. I'm really curious as to see where they're going with it. And as far as like the worshiping of the deity, I'm wondering what that is as well. Because I think even though the hats aren't the same, like when the hat he's holding on the roof sets fire, so does the deity. It's interesting. As far as the song goes, this is just a fire song. I would definitely download this. Mingy definitely came in and did his thing as my guy. But the whole group entirely definitely carries. I don't know who it was, but somebody was hitting those deep notes vocally. That was just really, really good. The entire video was shot really well, really clean. This is what I expect from them. Everything that I've seen so far from them has been like really, really clean. I don't think there's a bad song. There might not be a song that's like my favorite from them, but like, I don't think anything's like I'm never listening to it again. They just are consistent. I just wish we got more offerings from them over the course of the year so that they can be in more discussions. But what we do get is definitely quality, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, they this is on the album Spinoff from The Witness. Well, EP. I don't know how to take that though. Literally every single song on here is kind of like a remix, except this, and then the outro is Bluebird.
So was it a remix from the one that came out earlier this year?
And I'm trying to see which joint, because I forget which joint Gorilla had come on over here. Which is crazy, because at first when I seen it, I thought we reacted to this before, because it was another song called like Holla Holla.
Holla, yeah.
And at first I looked quick and I thought it like just glancing, and I was just like, oh no, this something else. Because what was it? Was it earlier today? I think was the World EP. Yeah, Movement. They had Cyberpunk, Gorilla, Sector 1, Propaganda, The Ring, New World. Okay. Too Quiet Johnson. Then what the hell is all the remixes of them? Because those aren't remixes that are
Supposed to have a remix, right?
from there. Oh, do?
That's what they say.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, then I see. Maybe these might be from other albums or other things too, and just
Like maybe a best of remix.
Yeah.
Collab, like we invented a remix.
And it might have gave us like a new comeback just to kind of, like here goes a present, and then these are the remixes of songs that we had already.
I like the cinematic way it was shot though. High contrast. Always a sucker for contrast, which means pretty much your whites are white and your blacks are super black. and all the colors in between kind of stay what they are, with maybe mid saturation to high saturation, and everything kind of sits well, doesn't break up, doesn't get distorted. You know, shit, for those like 4K QLED TVs, that's, you know, the selling point. Walk in a Best Buy for 20 minutes, they'll tell you. You know, just things like that, and very cinematic.
I wonder why they did do almost like a bokeh effect on everything. Some of the shots felt like Army of the Dead when they did it, which I kind of hate when it's like overused. They did it minimally here, but sometimes it always gives you that like eerie feeling of like dream vision almost when done like kind of too much. And I felt like stylistically, I wonder why, especially outside with the deity, it always was kind of used. You see what I mean? So it's...
Well, they were doing a lot of things for that deity. They had him standing in front of it one time, and he was glitching in and out, like he was there and wasn't there. And I'm pretty sure if he's a deity that they're all worshiping, they're not going to let anybody that close to him. So maybe he wasn't there for them, but he was there singing to us, which is weird. No, I'm really, and he even stretches his arms like the deity. This is, I'm really curious. What the fuck?
Yeah, some of the stuff really on here, some of the lyrics too have like those kind of apocalyptic, like undertones and stuff like that within the lyrics and stuff. So it's ATEEZ. We trust them when it comes to like concepts and stuff. At this point, it just would be, I wonder what is the end game with this concept. Is do we come in on the middle of something, almost how we did when they were doing the pirates thing?
Well,
is this the start of something?
I think the world kind of started this, because I know the world was dystopian and post-apocalyptic in nature, but it seems like more of a rebellion against the system. This just seems like the world is coming to an end, and there, you know, and I guess this religion or this deity is kind of representing the old, and they need to kind of get rid of it, unless this also goes with the system.
It's definitely seemed like they was taking shots at kind of like generational stuff, in the sense of like, you know, who are you really? I think the whole look in the mirror stuff. It was a whole bunch of other stuff here. It's definitely a lot of undertones.
You said the last song was Bluebird?
That we did?
No. On the album? Because they mentioned Bluebird in the song.
Yeah, it's
that's interesting.
Loses his voice,
yes,
and then it goes quiet straight to it's just the instrumental.
And also in front of the deity, not that shot, but the other shot where they're more gathered around them, at the bottom it said freedom. So maybe it is going back to the system and, you know, oppression of the system.
Like that was another track from them too. I could be wrong. But yeah, you definitely got to get into some more of them. We got to get into a guide. A lot of January is going to be a lot of guides. For a lot of groups.
Guide us through the rest of the year.
Nah, I think it's especially we started like knocking guides out. We knocked a lot of debuts out of other stuff. We'll talk about that later. Hey, Kurt.
What's up?
Hey, Bert.
When they mention the Bluebird aspect as well, I don't know if it's particularly what's being talked about here necessarily, but you know, the old kind of, I would say, what they used to do kind of in coal trenches when they used to have a bird.
Oh, the canary in a coal mine.
Yeah, it kind of gave me those aspects where it's like, because they said the bluebird no longer has its voice, basically, but they're talking about apocalyptic kind of settings, as though that bird went into the Cape, but it was too dangerous or toxic, so the bird seemingly died, keeping with that loss of innocence thing, because that's kind of how old, you know, miners or whatever would gauge to go in. So I didn't know if it was kind of a reference to that necessarily. I'm not even sure if I'm being completely honest if a canary is blue or anything, but nonetheless the metaphor kind of stood out to me, if that's indeed what they were implying. But it's just the apocalyptic, the apocalyptic kind of nature of everything in the video, the desolation of everything did kind of echo some of that. So if that was at least a reference, I think that was really well done. Just speaking a little bit musically on the track, it's definitely a strong download for me. I really enjoyed this track. There wasn't a slow moment or any kind of moment I would have changed if I had the option to or anything. I love Hung Jun's kind of verse, as we would say. I think Minju, if I'm not mistaken, I forget exactly how to pronounce his name. Towards the end, his deeper voice and his aggression, as I believe the drum pattern was kind of picking up a little bit. Towards his latter verse, where he's essentially belting out kind of all this frustration and anger, seemingly. I just felt that was a really great high point in the song as well. And then Jung Ho's vocals all the way throughout are just always something that captivates me in every song, I feel. The more and more we get exposed to the group, I want to say that that's my bias, or at the very least my vocal bias, but I do really appreciate a lot of what I'm seeing from everyone in particular. And I did want to highlight Hanjun's his eye for production as well that we see him. I know he's another one of those incredible artists as well that plays a large role in the production of everything in a group, and just any time a group is able to kind of take on the production aspects as well in their story and the direction in which they go. I just always want to highlight that as well because that's something that definitely stands out to me. But yeah, I really did love the track musically. And then the symbolism in the video is just honestly incredible. Like the opening shot with the kind of megaphone highlighting Wonderland, seemingly, which is kind of like almost like a, I don't want to say like a rebel track necessarily, but just it basically feels like you're kind of calling into effect like New World Order sort of aspects. But I just thought kind of having that megaphone to seemingly tie everything kind of together. You get the look of the pirate or the dead pirate, but it's like the old wardrobes, I believe, from Wonderland and from Answer, if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of, I don't know if that's to say that's actually them or that's what they will become or what they could have become, or if it's other world universe kind of stuff, because they talked about where do I stand in the next future generations, next generation and future generations. So I don't know if that's to say like this is what I'll become if I keep following this path or anything like that. But I did also like how they had the moments in the beginning of the video where they kind of did the hand twist thing like this, but then they match cut it and kind of did a 180 and like flipped the screen up. And then you saw the gravity kind of going upwards. So it was like there was like a whole other kind of world in that aspect, but there's also a broken hourglass, which not only the hourglass, if we're keeping with the whole pirate concept, but I believe in all the broken things that we saw in the Don't Stop MV, I believe an hourglass was also kind of prevalent in there, if I'm not mistaken as well. But the symbolism nonetheless of kind of breaking an hourglass, like to where there's no time, where that time no longer holds its thing, and then you have the gravity kind of going upwards. It does call into effect that it's another world seemingly. But I also really like how they're pulling down this dark pearl. I don't know if that's to say like a whole of a universe or something like that, because clearly the gravity in which, but it also did kind of echo the pirate ship as far as like dragging the chains and some of the ways that they were shooting it. So I thought that was done incredibly well. But then finally when it comes down and we get like the crescendo of the song, we see one of the members standing there in white. And I don't know if that's to say they pulled someone from a different universe in or anything like that. But then you see the people kind of looking down on them in white. And I remember that there was like a villain kind of aspect going on at the end of Answer. Remember where we got that post-credit scene? So I'm not exactly sure how any of that ties in conceptually or anything like that. But I just thought that nonetheless they were keeping enough symbolism in there to kind of echo some of those things. So I thought that was done incredibly well. But all in all, for me, it's definitely a video that really stands out for me, a song that really stands out for me. I did like the choreography that we had seen as well, but I was so immersed in kind of what they were doing, symbolically with the video, that I would like to kind of appreciate the choreo on its own time whenever we get the chance. But then lastly, I guess the thing I was going to touch on was the staircase or the escalator being kind of like, again with the desolation, but it also had the green, seemingly like, like plant life or whatever growing, but only because they called into effect the gravity aspect of everything. I don't know if the two worlds seemingly merged, or if it was something that like you had separated it, but it was just incredibly interesting. And I'm not sure how they're tying the pirate aspect necessarily into this otherworldly aspect with the desolation and everything, but their concept is just so fascinating to me, and the music is so well paired with it. And I'm just always eager to kind of see more from ATEEZ. So this is definitely a really great song, in my opinion, as well as a strong download for me.
To be honest, I think the pirate concept is over. I think
I thought so with
the
Don't
new
Stop
world,
as well. Could be wrong, though.
the new world kind of brought in the desolation, and like I said before, like them versus like the authority, unnamed authority. I know in the teaser trailers or whatever, they were running from guys and riot gear and like striking out against the system. Mm-hmm. However, that may be them burning the old persona. That might be a thing. But yeah, I believe that they are off the pirate story or concept.
For now,
and
say,
well, no, because in most of the pirate things, you always saw like black flags, and you always saw those things. They got rid of the black flags and everything else. But they do a lot of those Dutch shots, though.
That was kind
Makes
of
you feel out
the
of this
shot
world
that
a little bit.
drew my attention as well, because when they do, as you had said, the Dutch bokeh shot where it looks like he's like at the foot of whatever pirate-looking kind of deity or whatever there is, much like at the end of kind of pirate ships that you see like the skeleton kind of with its arms spread. It kind of was echoing like a little bit of that, and then as we had seen with when they burn it and they kind of you see the red like kind of crimson sort of flames, and they have like the black hoods on and everything. I don't know if that was to suggest like more kind of New World Order or anything like that, but it's just it was done incredibly well. But I think the bokeh kind of Dutch angle shot of that is like whatever is seemingly being worshipped is at a Dutch angle and it's out of focus. So you're calling negative connotation into whatever is being shown there. So the juxtaposition between kind of those two things is something that at least makes me think that they're doing something more with the pirate concept, but I could be completely wrong. I'm really immersed in their concept though.
Yeah, plus those Dutch
wait,
angles, like for film purposes, are literally used. Most people watch movies almost just like you watch like Life, and everything is kind of like straightforward and like shot with a 24, almost like Life is. Those Dutch angles automatically make you either confused or think something is out of worldly.
Yeah, if you look down like a dark hallway and you kind of have a Dutch angle, it's basically there's an impending danger or a sense of instability rather kind of to it. So it just, and then when you bokeh it, on top of that.
Your head does it in real life. When you, let's say like you were scared to go down the hallway almost and shit like that, sometimes you'll see something or like your head will tilt and it'll get on the Dutch. So it's triggers like that kind of like,
even
like
essentially
send
when you squint your eyes to look into the dark, you're essentially bokehing.
You're bokehing
in your mind.
your vision.
You're taking the focus of this and narrowing it to this. So it kind of had at least a similar effect to me.
That's why that part like stood out the most, like out of the whole MV, because I felt like they were focusing on that. But yeah, I'm good, Jugger.
Weird thing. Spin off the album. Cover is a bluebird feather. Last song on this album, Bluebird. Even the outfits that they're wearing, the same colors that the worshipers are wearing is the same color as the feather on the album. Okay. So I thought that was kind of cool. And to be honest, they may still be doing the pirate thing. I thought they were off of it, but even on the roof, he had a black flag flying in the background. So I don't know, but it was a ripped and torn flag. So it might have been an abandoned flag, which would also go with them burning the old persona and coming into the new one. So I don't know. It should be interesting.
I said Tuxedo Mask turned into that Arabian Night.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Definitely thoughts,
what
theories,
y'all got from this.
I'm really eager to hear as well.
Yeah. Other than that, we about to jump on the Patreon. We about to get into like Mist and a couple other things like from them. Some good recommendations that you guys had. Ooh. Definitely want to show ATEEZ some more love this month in general, and you guys should be getting a guide for them soon up on there as well. So we love you guys. We're gonna holler at y'all.
Love y'all.
Peace.
Take care.